Once upon a time, a poor woodcutter lived in a small cottage with his two children, Hansel and Gretel, and their cruel stepmother. Times were hard, and there was barely any food to eat. One cold night, their cruel stepmother whispered to their father that there was no more food and they must leave the children deep in the forest. Hansel and Gretel quietly listened in fear. That night, clever Hansel slept outside under the moonlight to gather shiny white pebbles, hoping to find a way back home. Gretel watched anxiously from the window. The next morning, their stepmother led them far into the woods. As they walked, Hansel secretly dropped the white pebbles one by one behind them. When the stepmother and father disappeared, Hansel and Gretel found themselves alone in the vast, silent forest. They held hands tightly, afraid and cold. When morning came, the children followed the glowing trail of white pebbles that led them safely back home. Their father wept with relief, but the stepmother was furious. Soon after, she ordered them to be taken away again. Hansel tried to gather pebbles, but the door was locked. Instead, he broke bread and carried it in his pocket. As they walked into the forest again, Hansel dropped crumbs along the path, hoping to guide them home once more. But when night fell, they discovered the birds had eaten every crumb. Lost and hungry, Hansel and Gretel huddled beneath a tall tree. At dawn, they stumbled upon a magical sight, a little house made of candy, icing, and cookies. Their eyes sparkled with wonder. Unable to resist, Hansel bit into a cookie window, and Gretel tasted the sweet frosting from the walls. For the first time in days, they smiled. Suddenly, an old woman appeared at the door. "Come in, my children," she said sweetly, but her eyes gleamed with wickedness. Inside, the children were given food and beds. But soon, the witch revealed her true nature. She locked Hansel in a cage and forced Gretel to work. Every day, the witch checked Hansel's finger to see if he was fat enough to eat. Clever Hansel held out a thin bone instead, tricking her over and over. Angry and impatient, the witch told Gretel to look inside the oven to see if it was hot enough. Gretel pretended not to understand. When the witch bent over to show her, Gretel pushed her in and shut the door tight. Flames roared. The evil witch was gone forever. Gretel rushed to free Hansel from the cage. They hugged with joy, thankful to be together again. Exploring the house, they discovered chests filled with gold and sparkling jewels. "These will help Father," said Hansel. Carrying their treasure, the two children followed the forest paths until sunlight guided them home once more. At last, they ran into their father's arms. The wicked stepmother was gone, and together they lived happily ever after, never hungry, never apart again.